Before the final kingdom is revealed to the world, there's a question every single believer has to answer. And it's not about religion, it's not about rituals, it's something much, much deeper. It's a question about the state of our own heart. Because the most important battlefield in our time, it isn't political, it's not global, it's right inside of us. And really understanding this internal battle, well, that's the key to everything that's coming.
So let's start with a command from Jesus himself. It sounds simple on the surface, but I think it's one of the most profound and challenging things he ever said.
Now, this isn't just some historical quote we hang on a wall, right? This is the very definition of what it means to be a disciple, and it feels especially urgent right now. The idea is that before the kingdom can be established on earth, a really fundamental preparation has to happen inside the hearts of his people.
And you have to notice the pattern here. It's so deliberate. It's a clear three-step process. First, you deny yourself. Second, you take up the cross. And only then, third, you follow Christ. This sequence makes it pretty clear that this was never meant to be a comfortable or an easy path.
So what does it really mean to take up the cross? Well, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of total surrender. It's about letting go of our own pride, our personal ambitions, our selfishness, and that desperate need we all have for control. It's about allowing Christ to rule our hearts before he rules the nations.
And this brings us to a moment of diagnosis, really. The question isn't just, hey, do I believe? It's something much more piercing than that. So this leads to a really crucial point of self-reflection. The first question we have to ask ourselves is this: is my faith something that's just convenient? Does it fit nicely into my life only when it's easy? Or is it something else entirely? Is it a faith of true surrender? A faith that actually costs you something to maintain? And what about our devotion? Is it seasonal? Does it depend on our feelings, our circumstances, or what season of life we happen to be in? Or is it something deeper? A commitment that stays steady, that proves its faithfulness especially when things get difficult? So what we're seeing here are two totally different paths. On one side, you've got this desire for the crown, but without the cross, a faith that's convenient, seasonal, comfortable. But on the other side, that's the path of real discipleship, embracing the cross before the crown. And that requires surrender, faithfulness, and obedience. But why? Why is this struggle so important? It's because none of this is without purpose. It is, in fact, a preparation for something absolutely immense. The trials we face because of our faith, they're not random, they are not meaningless. Every single one is a form of preparation. Preparation for responsibility, for authority, for actually participating in the coming kingdom of Christ. See, the cross is what forges the character that's needed for that future role. It teaches us what real humility looks like. It trains us in obedience, and it builds this unshakable trust in God, especially when things get hard. Without this process, our hearts just aren't ready.
And here is the profound promise in all of this. Those who choose faithfulness now, who endure and surrender today, they are the very same ones who will share in his reign then.
And this leads us straight to the ultimate reward for that faithfulness, a prophetic promise that's called the crown of life.
Right there in Revelation, Christ himself makes this promise. The connection couldn't be more explicit. Faithfulness, even through the ultimate trial, is directly linked to receiving this crown, this incredible final reward.
So we have to completely reframe how we see the cross. It is not a symbol of defeat, not at all. It is the training ground for the coming kingdom. Every sacrifice, every act of obedience, it's all shaping us for something so much greater than we can possibly imagine. And so, all of this leads to one final, unavoidable question. It kind of shifts the focus away from when all these things might happen and puts it right back on our own readiness, right now. As the world continues down its path, the real question for us is this: is your heart ready for the King?